Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorite flows for the hips. Today we're working on hip rotation. If you didn't already know, the hip's a ball and socket joint, so the main thing it does is rotation. So if you can't rotate, your hip mobility is going to be crap. So these are really important. Let's go ahead and get into it. All you need is a mat. Hands are going to come behind you. Feet are going to become nice and wide, and I want you to think about slowly knocking your knees one way and then slowly knocking your knees the other way. And again, that might look a little bit different for you here, so you are just meeting the body where it's at. If you want a little bit more of a challenging variation of this, you can think about keeping your butt down on the floor. You're going to feel that like a bigger stretch through both of your hips. That's something you can play around with. And again, the first level here, you're just moving them side to side. Second level, we're thinking more about keeping our butt down. And then the next level, you can start to do all of these without your hands. So you're gonna send your legs one way, send your legs the other way, moving without the hands. And it's really normal to kind of move around the floor, kind of like how I'm moving forwards here. Beautiful. And we're gonna do somewhere between 5 to 15 of those, moving nice and slow and controlled. And then you're going to drop all the legs over towards one side. We're coming into 90-90, one of my favorite shapes. So we're looking for 90-degree angles with both of the legs, knees in line with the hips in line with the knees, and then both of your feet are going to be flexed. And then we're gonna start by finding our pelvis to frame out our front legs. So you're gonna think about pelvis faces forward, shoulders back, and we're gonna lean forward until a big stretch is felt in that front hip. Let's hold this for 3 big breaths. Inhaling in through the nose, breathing into the spot that you have tension, and then exhale, letting it go. Out the nose, out the mouth. Good. And then we're gonna start on some hip push-ups. We're gonna go 10 to 20 reps here. Shoulders back. You're gonna lean forward until you feel a really big stretch in that front hip. And then you're gonna think about using your mind here to push that whole leg, knee to foot, down into the ground to get you up. Hands can be anywhere that's comfortable. Pelvis stays square to your front leg. Good, so I'm leaning forward, pushing into that front leg, and then coming up nice and tall. Good, I've already done 5 with you here. You're gonna do somewhere between 10 to 20. Ideally, kind of going as much as you need here to feel a good amount of release into this front hip, a good stretch. Good. And then we're gonna do the same thing towards the back leg. So you're gonna think belly button over towards back knee. I want you to take a big breath in through your nose and then expand. So belly button's over towards back knee. You're gonna breathe and wherever you feel the tightness here and let it go. Most of the times it's here in the lower back. And then you might notice this knee wants to lift off the floor. So if you can, you're thinking about keeping that knee down, but if we're pretty tight here, that's pretty hard to do. So maybe that's something we work on later. Good, and then 3 big breaths. Lovely. And then we're gonna do some IR leans. So still, belly button over towards back knee. You're gonna lean over as far as you can over towards back knee and then push that leg in the ground, come up nice and tall. Good, so big twist over. Come on up. And again, you're thinking about pushing that whole shin, foot to knee into the ground. So we're activating through this part of our hip. You might also feel something on your foot and your leg. And we're gonna do 10 to 20 of these. Your range of motion might not look like mine. And again, you can keep your hands on the floor for this one in front of you, here, or even on your legs. Moving nice and slow until you feel a big stretch here. Awesome. All right, 10 to 20 of those each round. Each side, stay in that side. You're gonna come on down to your forearm on that side. Feet stay nice and flexed. We're still in that nice strict 90-90. And then we're gonna start to do some lifts. So I'm gonna have you start with the back knee here. You're gonna think about lifting that back leg, nice and slow and controlled, and then dropping it down. Again, we're gonna do somewhere between 10 to 20 of these, moving nice and slow, controlling the ascent and controlling the descent here. Really good. We can also do the same with that front leg, lowering and lifting, nice and slowly. Good, 10 to 20 of these, beautiful. And sometimes I need to pad the hip here so you feel your bones on the floor, and that's welcome. Good, and then this is kind of like level 2. Your back knee is going to stay down, and we're gonna think about keeping the hip still because you're gonna notice that your hip's gonna wanna roll forward. You're gonna keep that hip still, and you're gonna see if you can lower and lift that back leg. That might not be very much. That might be whatever it is today, guys, but we're just trying to keep that nice control. Slowly pick it up, slowly lower. Really good. If these aren't feeling too bad, we can start to add in a little bit extra. So we can lift that front leg, try not to lean back like I just did. So you're gonna lift that front leg, see if you can extend it out, set it down. So we're gonna lift, extend, set it down. Again, we'll do somewhere between 10 to 20 of these. Nice and slow. Notice how my body's not really moving. I'm just moving at my hip here. And we can do that same thing at the back leg. So you're gonna pick up the foot. Again, this is a little more advanced. And then pick up the knee. And then you're gonna give a nice kick up to the ceiling. Good. So you're gonna lift the foot, lift the knee, big kick. Good. So we're starting to get some abduction in external and in internal rotation here. Good. And again, we're gonna do somewhere between 10 to 20 on both sides of all of those movements, starting at that breath at the beginning to kind of relax into these stretches a bit more. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, drop me a like or subscribe for more videos like this that you can pretty much do from anywhere with very minimal equipment. Thanks for watching. Happy moving.